Wait a minute, do you want to?
I'll bring this meeting to order of the Senate Appropriations Committee meeting. For your information committee, I know we had 3 bills. Senate File 119 we will hear this morning. Senate File 120 I'm holding on to. I'm not sure it's needed. And Senate File 124 we're laying over for one meeting because the author requested that. He won't be here today. So we have one Senate file this morning. It's 119, and we'll start with roll call.
Senator Driscoll?
Excused.
Senator French? Here. Senator Garou?
Aye.
Senator
Here.
Larson?
Here.
And Chairman Salzar?
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Senator Hicks, good to have you here. I'll take it away on 119.
Mike?
I think your mic is not on.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm going to walk you through this. The best way to walk you through this is to actually go through the flow chart that you have in here, and so to get a better understanding. But just a real quick background, this is a piece of legislation that passed last year. Both chambers went into law, and then the chief executive did some of the most creative line item vetoes in the history of the state of Wyoming, and consequently, I think, altered the intent of the legislature. So the Capital Finance Committee took this up and brought it back. There's a provision in here that's got some people a little concerned. I'll point that out to you and then what the remedy is for that. But Mr. President, or Mr. Chairman, what the effective bill is if you go to your chart and you'll see down at the bottom of this, you'll see the strategic project account right down there. And so it just eliminates that account. And so what I want to do now is to walk you through why we're doing this. More than anything else, it's transparency and it's simplification of the budget so you can follow it. So if you look at the money that actually flows into the SIPA account, it comes from one, it's general fund money, and then we flow it into the strategic investment. So it's general fund money. The second thing that it does is that creates a little bit of problem is if you'll go up there and you look at that, and it says on the bottom of that, it says guaranteed by the Permanent Wyoming Mineral Trust Fund Reserve Account. So if you go up to the Permanent Mineral Trust Fund Reserve Account right there, and you look at that, we set those accounts up 4 years ago with the idea that we wanted to get to 5 times the spending policy with a target of 7 times. And the purpose of that is that allows the state treasurer to go in there and then pursue what we would call the illiquidity premium. In other words, if you can lend money for somebody for 5 to 7 years versus 1 or 2 years, so think of a short-term treasury bill right now that if you buy the government, it's going to pay 2 to 3%. A 10-year treasury is going to pay 4%. That's the illiquidity. So lending somebody money longer, you always, or investing longer, you always get a higher return. That was the concept of doing that. The problem is when we look at the SIPA, you're going to see, and so you follow that reserve account down, and then you follow that dotted line down. It goes down, then it says transfer from the Permanent Wyoming Mineral Trust Fund about $90 million. That was in 2025. That takes away from that reserve account that allows the treasurer to pursue that illiquidity. And because most of the money now, because of that quote guarantee, is coming out of the reserve account, it defeats the very purpose of what we're trying to do is get those higher investment returns. The other thing it does is it just simplifies it. You don't need to run the money out of the reserve account down into the strategic foundation or the SIPA account. And then you'll see the other arrow to the right that it sends 45% of the 1.25% of the guarantee into the school major maintenance account, which we repealed that 2 years ago, and it just runs into the SFP. And that gives some people some concern. The simple fact is we're going to fund the school system. Right now, if the SIPA goes away, we could put in a dedicated distribution there, but we don't have to use the reserve account and then run it down and do the guarantee and then run it into it. You could very easily just go in there and carve out right underneath the general fund before it flows into the LSRA that you're going to capture that and run it in there. If that's really what the legislature wants to do to guarantee funding, that's the mechanism you do it, versus go through all these torturous guarantees, which reduces our potential for investment returns. And then it runs that money down, and it obfuscates how the money flows through the budget. It's not transparent, it's inherently complicated. So we're just saying, look, it's general fund money, we're not gonna put an obligation on there, we're gonna get rid of the account. Now, some people's concern is part of that money's flowing to the school capital, what's the SFP now, the School Foundation Program, which we're obligated under the Constitution to fund, our school systems. And so we're going to take general fund money sometime. But if you really, really wanted to do something to make sure that we had a commitment in there, you could do that under the general fund. Any excess that would normally tip into the LSR, you could tip it into this account and accomplish the same thing, and it's much clearer. Right now, what the bill does, it just limits SIPA. That obligation to fund that still is there for the obligation doesn't go away. It's just how you want to fund it. Right now, it would have to go through the normal appropriations process to move that money from the general fund side to the school foundation. We do that already on a number of cases. So, Mr. Chairman, that's all the bill does. It hasn't changed one iota from last year when we passed this out, both chambers. And like I said, it was signed into law, but it was heavily line item veto. Part of that was just our process. But Mr. Chairman, I'd stand for any questions. That's what the bill does. Trying to, again, provide clarity, transparency, and simplification.
Senator French.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator, just a comment. Yeah, we need to simplify this. I mean, we could probably continue on, but one bite of the apple at a time. It's just a little piece of money here and it transfers over here and then it goes that way and then it comes back. If there's a percentage and then it goes over there and that comes back. So I think you fully understand that and I appreciate that. We got to keep simplifying this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, couldn't agree more, and I think that's why we're trying to do this. There is, however, this nagging concern about school funding, and so I appreciate the Good Bringers' thought about maybe underneath the general fund having that transfer that's in that big box in the lower right-hand corner, and then just kind of put under there so people will know that we're still going to be funding the school. I don't want to create that, and I know none of us do. But by doing that, it does eliminate a whole bunch of the dips and trips and stuff that I don't think is needed. And so we still lose the SIPA, which was a long-term, long-held goal of this institution, or at least our side of it. But still try to get that other kind of taken care of. So I'm in favor, and then we'll look forward to something along those lines when we get it on the floor.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I do have another bill up in revenue, so look forward to you guys working with me on this, and we'll see you on the floor. Thank you.
Anyone who would like to give public testimony? Is there anyone online that would like to give public testimony?
No, sir.
Second. Good discussion. Any discussion? Roll call.
Roll call vote on Senate File 119. Senator Driscoll? Senator French?
Aye.
Senator Garou?
Aye.
Senator Larson?
Aye.
Chairman Salzar? Mr. Chairman, you have 4 ayes, 1 excused. Do pass.
And that's, January 10th, I'll close this meeting. I like this room. Yes. I like this better than So anytime we can get it. Director, good seeing you.
You as well. I will see